I recently purchased the Louis Vuitton Large Agenda cover, and I decided to go the custom route and make my own inserts and add a few things to make it specific to me. Let me show you the things that I bought. Now, for those who don't know me or a lot about what I do, I am very creative, and my channel has a bunch of videos that cater to all different walks of life. But more specifically, I am a creative in the sense that if I feel like I can do it, I will, and if I can't, I won't. So when it comes to the things that I bought for my planner, there were a few things that I felt like, okay, I'm not going to recreate this. I'm going to buy it from the seller because this really eats. And this custom named wire paper divider thing was one of them. I love the idea and the concept so much. It's so creative. Etsy is full of creators who just blow my mind with the things that they're able to make. And this was something that I just had to have and couldn't see myself trying to replicate. And just so you know, all the things that I'm mentioning in this video, I will be linking in the description. So if you're interested in purchasing any of these, you'll be able to do so using my affiliate link. So one of the next things I did to my agenda cover was that I decided to make custom inserts that I would print just very specific things on, starting with my name on my dashboard. That's basically behind my fluted dashboard cover, for the vibes. I've seen so many owners of agendas go and buy, different inserts that weren't really specific to who they were. Maybe a quote was very specific, but the designs were all just very basic and other people could have the inserts. I decided to get creative and start pulling together ideas and collages of images of things that I wanted to recreate and print those off on paper because why not? I'm a visual person and I usually keep my pictures in my phone, but when I'm inspired, I like to have them handy, and what better way than to print them, to physically have them. So I purchased some hole punch thick A5 paper and just created a bunch of templates using my Adobe Photoshop Pro and created a bunch of ideas and templates that I would be able to use and that was very specific to my needs. What I'm showing you is inspiration from Pinterest, photos that I pulled of images that I want to recreate. And on the back is a checklist that I would be able to write in of products and different props that I would need to bring that vision to life. This is just some of the ideas that I've had and was able to immediately pull together. But as I'm doing them one by one, I'm just getting more and more inspired. I had a birthday coming up, so these were the pictures that I wanted to try and recreate during my birthday month time span. And so putting these in my agenda right near the dates of when I'm going to be in certain areas would just allow me to remind myself and then have the visual of the things that I need to do. See, when you're shopping online for inserts for your planner, you're not going to get as specific as this. So I think it's very crucial that we learn how to do things ourselves or not feel like it's too much of a hassle to do so. I know it costs money to buy the paper and have the perfect printer and have the ink, but look at how I'm able to create so many different things just from having all of these items available. And who knows, maybe I'm able to create my own Etsy page and sell custom inserts for people to put into their own agendas. For the quotes, I had a collage of them all stacked in my phone that I just knew I wanted to post on social media and then maybe never got to. But some of them just hit home so hard. I was just like, why not print these off and put these in my agenda too so I can see some motivation every once in a while? I'm sure we all have in our phones screenshots of different quotes from pages we've seen on social media and different images of things that inspire us or that we want to recreate. But how often do those get lost and just piled up into our phone until eventually there's so many pictures we never even scroll back to them again? With my tangible concept, I'm able to print out my favorite quotes and be able to see them in an agenda that I touch and flip through every single day. I'm able to rearrange my inserts and put them where I need them, where I can see the quotes that are most meaningful to me, and just, customize them every single time I get inspired. This concept alone, it feels like it's very much worth it to have the tools you need to just be creative. Another little thing that I did that would make my insert stand out is that I ordered these, custom logo metal stickers that I would be adding to my inserts that are actually printed on quite a thick piece of paper. So they actually make these, A5 papers that are already, almost like cardboard, but, printable. So you're not getting the flimsy piece of paper that bends, when you hold it from one side. These are actually really sturdy. So I took these custom stickers that I will link in the description and I added them to my inserts. So now I have this, textured golden logo on my quote pages. Now, I did buy 2 different versions of the A5 paper. One was like a cream color, which I wanted to use for, my quotes. And I had another one that was pre-hole punch that was on white paper. But for my cream paper that does not have holes, I did buy a A5 hole punch. Now, this hole punch specifically punches A5, but it also adjusts to punch other lengths of paper, and it's adjustable. So yes, I just, this basically doesn't limit me when I need to print something that doesn't have pre-punched holes. They sell these sort of hole punches on Amazon. They actually have them in Michael's and other craft stores. So if you're looking for an A5 hole punch, I will also link it so you won't have to look far. Now, one thing I must warn you about is the addiction. This can be very addicting as you see that everything that once inspired you or that you visually wanted to recreate, you're now able to make and print things. It becomes very fun creating your agenda, especially when you have all the tools to bring it to life. So just beware of that. Beware of having too much fun. Another one of the accessories that I had bought was off of Amazon, and I had bought these sticky notepads. These sticky notepads in particular are a little bit thick and they're transparent and they're able to be written on with pen. In addition to the sticky notepads, I bought these plastic zipper inserts that would allow me a little bit more versatility on the type of things I would be able to add into my agenda. Now, these were more of an impulse purchase because I don't really know what I would be putting in these, but I seen that a majority of the people who made videos on their agenda had these, so I figured I would be able to use them for something at some point. I actually like the fact that it had so many different styles and depth of, for the type of things that you can put in there. That's really useful, and it had like 2 or 3 of each, so yeah, you have options, and if you have a favorite, you have more than one. So we've taken a closer look at the sticky notepads I bought. I chose this in particular because the pastels are, first of all, my favorite color palette, and it matches my aesthetic. I mean, even my nails match the sticky notepads. So yeah, it was just totally my vibe. And then I like the fact that it came with different types of the sticky notepads. So they had one with tabs, little circles, squares, rectangular. I felt like it gave me the perfect variety without me having to shop different brands to get what I needed. Using one of the plastic inserts, this is how I decided to style my sticky note tabs, and I felt like that was just perfect. So far, I'm really pleased with how my agenda is coming together and how it's just really custom to me. So I think from this point forward, I'm just going to get a little bit more creative with how I do things with it. And with that being said, I decided to take the sticky notepads that were on this thick piece of plastic and maybe I'll just hole punch it. At first, I was thinking it would fit into one of these plastic inserts, but none of them really fit it in a way without it looking like it was so spaced out. So I just figured I would just hole punch it. Like, why not? I have the tools. And this is exactly why I say invest in the parts, because now you can get really creative with everything that you think of. What I noticed when I tried to hole punch it was that it wouldn't fit in with the way it was currently arranged on the clear backing. So I'm just going to rearrange it so it fits correctly and still holds all of the notepads. But like I had mentioned before, the reason why I had chosen these specific ones was because I had read in its reviews that you were able to write on these with pen. Now, some of the other versions of these, like, thicker, transparent sticky notes, was that you were only able to use it with a certain type of marker, and I didn't like that. I wanted to be able to use one pen to write on my paper and on my sticky notes with. And the quality of these were so good, so I do not regret this purchase, and they actually lay flat to the paper when you stick it. So yeah, these were a 10 out of 10 purchase. Overall, I just love how my agenda is coming together, but I have another trick up my sleeve that's going to make this even better for me. So a while ago, I had bought this notebook from Spencer's, and it was a Hello Kitty notebook, and it had dividers and everything. And I do tend to use it, but I really loved it because of the dividers it had attached to the notebook. So what I decided to do was basically transfer these dividers into my agenda. The dividers were such high quality. I mean, they're really thick, and I just could not see myself throwing this notebook away after I filled the pages. So I figured I'd just transfer them to be used forever in my agenda. So to remove the dividers from the notebook, I just used my bottlenose pliers and pried open the wire on the back of the notebook. So in order to get these dividers to fit inside of the agenda, we're going to have to cut off the edges because as they currently are, they will not fit into the agenda. So all you're going to need are a pair of scissors to cut along the edge to just cut off the perforated area. And as you can see, without cutting the holes, the dividers will not actually fit into the agenda. So we definitely have to cut off the edges and then add new holes using our A5 hole punch. Once I had them all hole punched and aligned, I inserted them all and divided it up the way I wanted to, and this is how it turned out. I am so pleased with how it turned out because this was an impromptu judgment call when it came to, I got dividers at home type situation, and I just reused them from a notebook that I had bought. So this idea was the latest addition to my agenda, and let's move into the next one. So for my next creative concept, I made monthly agenda inserts using selfies. So first of all, I love me some me, so what better person or inspiration to use than some of my favorite selfies and make them monthly dividers. And to add a little razzle dazzle, I decided to laminate them so that way they last for a lifetime, because unless I plan on changing the selfie, which I probably won't, I'm probably going to use these for a long time. So I want them to be able to withstand all of the, the taking out and rearranging and the touching of them. So this is my a little bit of insurance of making sure that they last a long time. So unfortunately, more than one of my A5 papers does not fit into the laminator, so I was only able to laminate one sheet at a time. But either way, you cut off the edges, and once again, you go in with that hole punch and you create those custom sized holes. One thing that I would probably do a little bit different, or if I was to upgrade these inserts in the future, is on the back side of them, instead of leaving them blank, I would add important dates that, reoccur yearly on the back of them, basically like birthdays, anniversaries, and different important dates that occur on a yearly basis. So that's how I would upgrade those inserts. But for this being my first time, I am very much pleased. And this is basically how my agenda turned out. My whole idea for my agenda was to be custom, trendy, and just overall bougie. And I love me some Hello Kitty, so I got a little bit of everything. I think the essence of the gold and the rhinestones and the Hello Kitty just screams it, girl. And the custom inserts just, chef's kiss. I mean, it looks professional, and it definitely gives that time and effort was put into it. So yeah, if you're looking for some inspiration, look no further than this. I'll be giving some more updates once I do anything different. And let me know in the comments what you liked about this video and what you plan on doing and adding to your agenda.
I don't have to find an aesthetic. I am an aesthetic. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out here right now who's going into Pinterest trying to type up all these adjectives to describe me.